Hello, 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 everybody. Oh, my God. Happy Wednesday to you and yours. And welcome to all our friends and family and guests to Couch Chronicles. We are coming to you live on the LUV Radio Network. And I am your worldwide radio host personality, Miss Symone. And I'm thanking you for tuning in to share your time with me tonight. It is a great day to be empowered and to enjoy our journey right from your homes and especially from your very own couch. So get a glass of whatever you like. Sit yourself down and enjoy the nuances of a woman and a man's perspective on life, love, friends, some dating, generational issues, curses, plus every topic in between. Now, if you are new to Couch Chronicles, we all say welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in and enjoy the show. And if you're a reoccurring or dedicated Couch Chronicle fan, I say thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all your dedication, all your time, and for being a ride or die Couch Chronicle baby. Now, go ahead, y'all. Call or text your friends and family to come on in and join us tonight. You can do this in several ways by either logging onto LUV Radio Network 24 and press that live button, or you can just call in at 1-563-999 3519 and go ahead and press that one button and come on in. It's so easy to just sit on my couch and sit back for a wonderful and sometimes very grown show. So go ahead and send me a friend request so that we can connect on Facebook and Instagram at Symone, Symone, last name Hurt, Hurt. And I'll be more than happy to befriend you back so that you can be part of the Couch Chronicle party. Now, we're streaming live at Love Radio Network 24 right now. Take time to check us out. Join the Love Radio Network family for the latest and greatest shows on the internet. Woo! That's what I'm talking about, y'all. So guess what? Praying everyone is well today and staying safe. Our topic today is mental health. And tonight we're going to chop it up with some self-empowering Am I My Brother and Sister's Keeper information. So watch out for LUVRadioNetwork.com because we are also streaming shows on Fire Stick, y'all. Whoa, come on now. We're moving on up. Hey, George and Wheezy got us feeling easy. I love it. I love it. Go to LoveRadioNetwork.com and download the app so that you don't miss out on any of your favorite shows and times. Can't wait for everyone to be able to participate. So to get this party started, make sure you text all your 999-3519 and or Google Love LUV Radio Network 24, and it'll send them the link to get in on all the action. So some of y'all are part of groups, and you know how to get that party started and get everybody in the group chat. Come on, invite them. Come on in for a wonderful and beautiful show. Grab your drink, because guess what? I got mine. Nestle in, but don't pull that blanket up too far, because it's about to get hot, hot, hot up in here tonight. Lean on in, y'all, and learn something new. And guess what? Enjoy the ride, my love. So, okay, tonight we have a special guest speaker for our mental health series tonight, and it's Mr. Kiah Harvin with Gulf One Media. And I'd like for him to come on in and say hello to y'all tonight.
Hello, hey, how are y'all doing today?
Yes, my love. Yes, my love. Thank you for coming on in. Welcome to Couch Chronicles. Feel free to call in and ask any questions tonight of our guests. And so how are you doing tonight, Mr. Harvin?
Doing quite well. Looking forward to sharing this information that I have for everyone with mental health. We have some special things going on, and this is the kickoff for our company to focus on mental health.
Oh, I love it. So as always, thank everyone for being on the show tonight. And as they say, like my grandma D used to say, sometimes intimacy starts with a good old conversation. So we're going to get to talking. So the question tonight to all my kings and queens is, whatever happened to I am my brother or sister's keeper? And how do we support those who are suffering in silence, especially our veterans and those who are dealing with suicide, not only in the Black community, but our own veterans who gladly support us with their own lives? I'm so happy to have you on here tonight because you and I have talked about this on many occasions. You know that I'm an avid supporter of your veteran pens. I got all of them. I've supported our 2 dogs for veterans. I love the mission and goal that you have going on. And we're going to just kind of hone it in, though, on whatever you want to do it, but especially suicide, because it's been plaguing the Black male community a lot lately, especially with some issues that have been going on with every other ethnicity. Some have gone down, some have gone up, but in the past 2 years, African American males are totally being the brunt of suicide attempts. What do you have to say about that? Mr. Harvin?
Yes, hold on.
Uh-huh.
Yes, Salute to Duty is an advocate of bringing attention to veteran suicide. The special number, or the number that we focus on, is the number 22, because that's the unfortunate number of veterans that commit suicide each day due to depression, isolation, mental health, things of that nature. So this is something that we bring attention, and we also use our lapel pins as a signature of letting people know that we're advocates of it, and we like to share this information and get the community involved as well with understanding what our veterans go through once they come back from serving our country. So our whole focus is that they went out and served us, so this is our opportunity to serve them.
Yes. Yes, it is, and I definitely agree with that. Suicide rates have actually increased 33% since 1999 up to 2021. And it is the 10th leading cause of death in the United States. So this is why it's so important to actually talk about this tonight and bring awareness to how significant this really is. There are people out there that really, really need our attention, need our love and our affection. There are people that are suffering in silence, and we don't even know. And I had a conversation with my son, because my son used to, in high school, and every notebook that he had on the front of it, am I my brother's keeper? I am my brother's keeper. And that used to be a mantra for him, as far as his father teaching him that, you have to reach and, people and make sure everybody's okay. Just because you're okay doesn't mean everybody else is okay. And in today's society, we have found ourselves actually becoming very selfish, very self-focused, which is nothing wrong with self-love. But just don't forget that not only after you love on yourself, have enough love left in your cup to love on somebody else. And I want to make sure that we bring light to that tonight in regards to, talking about the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. That number, you can call this number. It speaks English and Spanish. It's 1-800-273-8255. Again, that number is 1-800-273-8255. Anybody out there that's suffering, please reach out for help. If you're not getting help from your family and your friends, go ahead and reach out to the hotline and talk to somebody who is familiar with your situation that can help you through it. But as we go on in the show, I do want you to explain how your company came to recognize that this was a need for veterans and for African American males to be able to have help and assistance, and how you plan on coming up with some interventions of how to make that happen, how we can help people, in these states and situations. So tell us what's going on with you and your company with that.
Well, what happened was we found out by accident when we were marketing our lapel pins while we were doing research. Each one of our lapel pins has a significant meaning behind it. We have one for women. We have one for fallen. We have one for fallen, one for women, one for black soldiers. And while we were doing more research, we started coming across veteran suicide. Started doing a little more research on it, and then I started asking some of my veterans, do they suffer from PTSD? And it kind of snowballed from there. So once these veterans that I had known for years, and I was just talking to them in conversation. I just said, what do you know about PTSD? And 90% of the ones that I talked to actually had PTSD. So, and they just talked about the different traumas that they were going through. So I started doing more research, and then we kind of went from the sales side of our business, which is selling military appreciation lapel pins. That's the sales side of it. The advocacy side of it is bringing awareness to veteran suicide. The numbers may vary. Sometimes it's lower than, sometimes it's higher than, but the average number of veterans that commit suicide is 22. So that's kind of been our number. We focus on, when we do our give backs, we give back 22% of our profits to different organizations. One organization that we are focusing on are organizations that offer support, or what they call service dogs, to veterans. Because in our research we found out that service dogs help veterans who are dealing with isolation, depression, and loneliness. So we may not have all the solutions, but we found that this one was one that we wanted to align our brand with. So that's one of the things that we like to do, is kind of focus in on our veterans and teaming up with organizations that offer service dogs and pair the two together. So, like I said, our sales side of our business is the lapel pins, but we're very passionate about bringing attention to not only suicide with veterans, but, with our research, we found out that veterans only make up maybe 13 or 14% of the suicides, because the averages are like 130 suicides are committed each day.
Yes.
And it's a very high number of young kids that are now committing suicide. And, just in the last, maybe 3 weeks, we've had some very high-profile suicides that's kind of maybe touched the pulse of us, because they were entertainers' children, and, we were looking at that. But the thing is, that kind of opened up the floodgates, so to speak, of the number of people. We don't have to be famous to have issues and problems. So this kind of works hand in hand on what we're trying to do. Now, although we are focusing on veterans, we're also focusing on everyone out there that's going some issues and some problems. And that's why we kind of created the 2022 Mental Health Check-In Challenge. And basically, again, since this is 2022, we wanted to play with that 22 into the new year and make that a national campaign that actually be extremely focused on reaching out to people, just checking in just to say hello, see how you doing. And what we were doing is on the 22nd of each month, we're asking people to check in on at least 22 people. At least one of them should be a veteran, of course, because that's our brand. But we want you to check in on at least 22 people. Give you friends, family, neighbors, business associates, acquaintances, just to maybe the text, send them an email, something real simple, just to say, hey, I'm checking in, see how you're doing. And some of them will respond with, hey, I'm doing fine. And you'd be amazed, or some of them will really have a conversation with you. And I like this challenge because it touches the pulse of the people. Too often we have challenges that kind of just is almost like a fad or a phase. We do it, and move on. Like one of the challenges, and not to knock it, but the traditional challenge that came out to bring awareness to veteran suicide was people doing 22 push-ups. I would do 22 push-ups, and then I would tell a friend of mine to do 22 push-ups. But then it ended. I wanted to create something that was more focused, more in tune, and more, like I said, to touch the pulse of the people, something that was more personable than just doing some push-ups or dumping water on your head or something like that. So I just said, hey, look, let's just reach out to some people, send them a message, give them a phone call, something that kind of gives it more of a personal appeal, more of a one-on-one. So we wanted to do it on a repetition. So this just wasn't us saying reach out to 22 people and then it ends there. We want to make this a conscious effort on the 22nd of each month to reach out to 22 people. Now, we're always saying to reach out to people on any other day, but to put a good vibe in the atmosphere on the 22nd.
Yes,
we want everybody,
being positive.
Yeah, you know, that one positive day nationwide where everybody in the universe is reaching out and just seeing how everybody is doing. So, you know, even down to putting something positive on your social media, from TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all those different venues to say something positive and just put something positive out there. So we're excited, and hopefully we can get you and your people on board to kind of adopt the concept of reaching out to people on the 22nd of each month and just checking in and saying, hey, how you doing?
Yes, and I definitely agree. Now, just statistically through MarySymone.com on how many suicides in just this year, you know, suicide affects all ages, and it is second leading cause of death for people ages 10 to 34. Now, notice that's a very young age, y'all, 10 to 34. And the fourth leading cause among people are ages 35 to 44. And the fifth leading cause is among people ages 45 to 54. You know, suicide rates are really, they do, like you said, go up and down, but they are still staggering because there's still a lot that's going on. And it also varies by race and ethnicity, age, and other factors. The highest rates are among American Indian, Alaska Native or non-Hispanic white populations. Other Americans with higher than average rates of suicides are veterans, people who live in rural areas, workers in certain industries and occupations, for an example, mining and construction. Young people who are lesbian, gay, or bisexual also have a higher rate of suicide ideation and behavior compared to their peers who identify as straight. Now, African-American males is the fastest growing rate for suicide in the past 2 years alone. And I want to reach out to you and thank you because you were the first person to call, reach out to me and let me know when Regina King's son had passed away he committed suicide. And that's how we began talking about the new initiative that you had. And I just thought that it was just a fabulous thing to have to not only discuss, but to get out to the community and to the public to make great awareness about this. I mean, it's not something that people think of on a regular basis, but suicide attempts cause serious emotional and physical and economic impacts. And it's not just for the person that commits the suicide. That suicide actually impacts the survivors very seriously. It has long-term effects on just their health, and they experience depression, mental health concerns. Good news or bad news of 90% of people who attempt suicide and survive never go on to die by suicide. The long-lasting effects of it still affect that person and their family. So this is a very serious thing to actually take into accountability of that. We don't normally think about it on a regular basis, but you'll be surprised at how many people that you are in a circle with, in touch with, or may actually know that have actually thought about doing suicide. I myself personally, I went through a very dark period in my life, and I did think about committing suicide. I remember sitting in the bathtub, and I was going to slit my wrist. And the only thing that kept me from not doing that was the simple fact of being a mother. My responsibilities of motherhood kept me from not doing it. And I said, you know, my sons deserve better than this. They just wait. There's too much that needs to be done. I have to be better than this. I have got to get my mind and my thoughts together. I've got to pull myself out of this depression and this very dark place and make this happen. Everyone, unfortunately, isn't strong enough to pull themselves out of it. And that's why, that is exactly why This is so intricate to talk about. I'm trying to tell you, there are some people, there's professors, there's athletes, there are inventors, there's teachers, there's students that think this comes across their mind. I'm not the only one that thought of that. Sometimes when you're pushed up against a wall and don't know what to do, where to go, how to manage, and how to fix it, you can sink to a very dark place. And in that darkness, those thoughts are really loud. And people don't understand how loud they are until you hit that place. And the financial toll itself of suicide on society is very, very costly. It costs the nation over $70 billion per year for just the medical work and work loss costs alone for those that are in those sunken places, whether they actually take their lives or they don't. It's very expensive to be there in that place. And so therefore, whether you think it's affecting you or hitting you, it really is. It really, really is. Okay? But suicide can be prevented. It really can. And everyone actually has a role to play to help save lives and create healthy and strong individuals, families, and communities. The suicide prevention requires not only a public health approach, which, of course, you go to preventing suicide, a technical package and policy and programs and practices. There's PDFs all over on Google for it. But your initiative struck me because the strategies to prevent suicide, one of them is about promoting connectedness. It's peer norm programs, community engagement activities. And that's why I was so happy that you were so engaged in being able to promote this. I do participate in your advocacy with the dogs. Why don't you tell people about that? Because I support two of them myself personally.
Well, like I said earlier, when we were doing research on what helps veterans reduce their suicidal thoughts, a lot of it had to do with activities. Mm-hmm. One was like exercising, going to the gym. One was like reading, walking, jogging, any type of physical activity to kind of get their mind functioning and flowing. And the other one was we came across, which was the dogs, service dogs, comfort dogs. We like that concept because of the whole idea of who doesn't like a dog, and just knowing how dogs comfort friends and family members who have dogs. These dogs are more well trained because they do other things, but they're really to help veterans. So we kind of figured this would be, out of all the things that we looked at, we like this idea and this concept because of the connection between the veteran and a dog. And a lot of these veterans have trained with dogs while being in the service. So this kind of looks like the easiest connection to continue this marriage, so to speak, between the veteran and a service dog. So that's why we decided to partner and look for other partners of different organizations that supply service dogs to veterans, because we want to be part of that. And again, a lot of the things that we focus on with our business is to use that our profit margin to give back, and that give back piece to our veterans in a way of supplying them with a service dog.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Tell them the website that they can go to actually check that out, because it's not a lot to actually support a service dog training to help a veteran, and it's one of my initiatives that I do. Of course, everybody knows that I support multiple sclerosis because of my friend. And I also support breast cancer awareness because of my grandmother, Mama D. But I also joined on with you and to support the support dogs because I think that a really phenomenal thing. I mean, dogs have been used to go into hospitals to calm patients and to heal them. And I see where it would be worthy for someone who is suffering from PSTD or any other trauma issue that they have related, along with preventing suicide. Because if you have calm thoughts, you don't think about suicidal thoughts. So that's fabulous. So where are they going to check that out, Kiah?
Well, what they can do is they can go to our website, which is www.salutetoduty.com. That's spelled SALUTETO, D as in David, UTY, salutetoduty.com. And what we do is if you purchase anything from our store, 22% of that goes toward us securing and sponsoring a service dog. And you can either purchase one of our lapel pins, or you can be part of the 2022 National Check-In Challenge, which we have sweatshirts and T-shirts, which actually has 2022 mental health check-in on it. And like I said, 22% of that goes toward securing and sponsoring a service dog. And we'll have other things as well. But we definitely really, out of all the things that we're really pushing, is because we want to connect our veteran piece along with our civilian piece when it comes to suicides. So we're reaching out to everyone to participate in our mental health check-in challenge on the 22nd. And like I said, check in on at least 22 people. Make sure a few of them are veterans. And like I said, just kind of say, hey, look, how you doing? How you really feel? And go from there. So like I said, if you want to participate and support, just go to our website, purchase one of our signature lapel pins, or to really be involved is to purchase one of our mental health T-shirts or hoodies.
Yes, thank you. Now, there's also a promo code associated with that for all of my listeners, so that they can get the best deal on that. Do you have promo code for my listeners out there today?
Yeah, I sure do. It's going to be real simple. Since you're Ms. Symone, that's going to be the promo code. So if they put in Ms. Symone, MZ, Symone, in the promo code,
yes.
If they put that in the promo code, we'll know that that's part of your listeners and followers, and we'll also have some different giveaways for those who participate in the challenge, and we'll also have special giveaways for those who participate as part of your network. So like I said, just put Ms. Symone in the promo code, and we'll know that you're part of her team, and that way you'll get some additional benefits, along with also being part of this campaign of bringing attention to suicide, and also being a part of some type of solution of reaching out to people. We have to get back, especially to the black community, we have to get back to the it takes a village concept, and my brother's keeper.
Yes.
Or won't mention their name because they're not a sponsor of your show, but I'll just use their one of their signature sayings, like a good neighbor. So instead of saying like a good neighbor, blah, 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 how about like a good neighbor, check on somebody.
Check on 22 people. We're going to make sure we follow up with that in next week's show. Now, look, y'all, almost 1.38 million people attempted suicide between 2019 and 2020. So this is very, very serious. So go ahead to his website, and the promo code is Miss MZ Symone, Symone, and go ahead and get whatever you can get, sponsors, and help out what we're talking about tonight. There's somebody out there that needs your help. Come on, reach out and be someone's help. And like we said, am I my brother or sister's keeper? Yes, I am. So with that, we're about to take a break, and we will be right back with you. So thank you. Hold on. Go ahead and refill them drinks, and come on back to Couch Chronicles, my love. See you in a few.
We all know that physical health is important and is something we need to look after so that we can stay fit and well. With mental health, it's the same. We all need to take care of our mind so that we can think and feel the way we want to and have a more enjoyable future. Mental health is about looking after our thoughts, feelings and emotions so that we are well enough to cope with everyday life and feel content with our relationships, our abilities and our potential. It can seem more difficult to look after our mental health than our physical health. And some people think you can never feel better if you have a mental health problem. But that's not true. If you have a physical health problem, like an injury or illness, it's possible to get better and feel well again. And it's the same with mental health. You just need to talk to the right people and ask for help. Sometimes the stresses of life can affect our mental health, and we don't feel we can contribute at work or in our community the way we want to. It's okay. Everyone can have a bad day or feel bad for much longer periods of time. There are lots of things about life and work that can affect our mental health. You may feel unwell because of stress at work, or maybe you're feeling low after losing someone you love. A traumatic event, a physical injury, or taking drugs can also affect your mental health. You might feel anxious or low, or just want to hide away. If you're having a bad day, Able Futures could help you get support to deal with the mental health problems that you're struggling with. We'll give you time with a mental health expert who will listen to what you're feeling and thinking, give you advice and information, and help you do what you need to do to feel better, so that you can have more good days. We can help you, your employees, or your apprentices understand and manage their mental health at work for a more dependable future, with no charge to you. Call us Monday to Friday on...
You're listening to the Love Radio Network worldwide. LoveRadioNetwork.com. Educational, inspirational, trending topics, and the hottest hits. With award-winning talk show hosts and personalities. And you made us number one. Thank you. Love Radio Network, building a network of love.
Ooh, child. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Thank you. Thank you. Happy Wednesday and welcome back. You are speaking and listening with your host, Ms. Symone. And I'm thanking you all for coming on back with us. And if you're just joining us, we're happy to have you too. We're sitting here and we're talking about our topic tonight, which is mental health. And specifically, we're talking to our special guest today, which is Mr. Kiah Harvin. And he has a wonderful initiative in regards to checking on people. As a matter of fact, 22 people for mental health in regards to suicide. And we're talking about that tonight. And our tagline is, am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. Am I my sister's keeper? Yes, I am. You know, we lose sight sometimes because we're not all on our own and we don't know how to love ourselves properly. And we get so focused on ourselves that we forget to love on other people. You know, when your cup gets full, you're supposed to share it with others. And to be able to do that, we have an initiative of the Health Check 22. That is going on and will be going on for the remainder of this month. The next week, Wednesday show, we're going to actually talk about that and probably have an award to be able to give away for someone who is actually doing that. Please let me remind you guys that we are also streaming live on Fire Stick. So those of you who have Fire Stick, please join us. Go to LUVRadioNetwork.com. Go ahead and download that application and join us. Become part of the family. You're missing out on a lot of things. We have awesome guest speakers. We have so many hosts that are going to teach you something new. We've got something spiritual for you. We've got information for you. We've got love and life for you. And we've got quite a few new people that have joined the family that if you've been with us for a long time, we got some refreshing new people. Come on, check them out and see what's going on. But tonight, you're with Couch Chronicles, and I'm Miss Symone. And my special guest tonight is Mr. Kiah Harvin. So, Kiah, thank you very much for being on the show tonight. And I appreciate you sharing your information in regards to your 22 initiative. Now, last year, that initiative, I remember it because my son participated in it, and that was the 22 push-ups. And I actually did it. I didn't get to no 22 push-ups, so don't y'all get excited. I might have made 10, 12. I'm just keeping it real. But I didn't get to 22. But my son, he's a fitness trainer, so of course that was easy for him to do, and he had a group of people who were doing that. But this year, your initiative is to make sure that we talk to 22 people on the 22nd of every month, okay, to check on them. Text, call, whatever you need to do to make sure that they are okay and that they're doing very well. Now, what I'd like to pair back is that the actual meaning of suicide is that people do die with the health issues of natural death. But when someone intentionally gives up on life, and people give up on life for several reasons. It's not because they're just sad or depressed. Some of that percentage are people who are in pain. They've been hurting, or PTSD, if I'm saying it right. I think I did. But it's the 10th leading reason of death in countries like the United States. And we're talking about people who are young. It's not like it's old people. We're talking about people 10 to 34 years old. It's the second leading reason for people 10 to 34 years old. We're talking about people 35 to 44. It's the fourth leading reason. So this is something that's very, very prominent, very, very serious, and that we need to take this very serious. And there are people out there that always wonder in their hearts and in their mind, what else can I do? What can I do? So we're giving you something that we can do. And I want Mr. Harvin to, again, tell us the website and all the things that you can partake on of that website when you go there. So why don't you help them out with that, Kiah?
Okay, like I said, to participate with the 22 Mental Health Check-In Challenge, we should go to our website, either purchase the hoodie or purchase the T-shirt, or you can purchase both. And use the promo code Ms. Symone, MZSYMONE.
Yeah.
And put that in the promo code, and you will be part of her team. And we'll have some giveaways here and there. One of our best giveaways that I like, because we're always one that loves to give back, we have what we call a 50-50 raffle. If you understand what the 50-50 raffle is, under normal circumstances, 50% goes to the winner, 50% stays with the house. But what we do with our 50-50 raffle is 50% goes to you and 50% goes to your favorite charity. So when you purchase the combo, which is the T-shirt and hoodie combination, you'll be eligible for the 50-50 raffle, where 50% of the proceeds will go to you and 50% of the proceeds will go to your favorite charity. So again, just go to our website, www.salutetoduty.com. That's SALUTETO, D as in David, UTY.com. So that's salutetoduty.com. And just go there, purchase one of the T-shirts, hoodies, or the T-shirt or hoodie combination. Also, if you are someone that needs to be checked in on, we also have on the website where you can actually give us your name and information, and you will be part of our check-in, where we'll email or text you, however you want us to reach out to you, and just to check in on you. So you can also have us reach out to you on the 22nd of each month. Now, it's not limited to just the 22nd. We want you to, if you feel like giving somebody a call or texting somebody because they're on your mind, feel free to do that. We encourage that. But on the 22nd, we want everybody to do it, just so we can bring out some positive vibes in the universe, so that where everybody's doing it on the 22nd. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this as a challenge, as opposed to the 22 push-ups or having somebody dump water on your head or something like that. We wanted to create something that had more of touching the pulse of the people, and more something that was more community-oriented, and and got more people involved. So we figured what better way than for you to actually reach out and put yourself open to have somebody, if they are having some issues, to just kind of respond. You never know. When I did the test of the reach out, I did it the 22nd of January, and I reached out to about 50 people. Some people responded with, "I'm doing okay, everything's fine, how are you doing?" And then I had about 4 of them that actually texted me about what was going on with them, and a couple others asked me, was it okay if they called me, just so they could, hear a voice. So you never know. Some of the people that actually responded were people that I didn't even think would respond. So you never know who may be going through something, or somebody that may want to hear a kind gesture. So just be part of it, and you'll definitely get a good feel from yourself what you're doing and helping people out.
Yes. And I want to make a special plea to those individuals that have actually experienced a loss from suicide. Nobody knows what you go through but you. And so this is why this is very relevant in being able to identify and support people that are at risk. Crisis intervention, treatment for people at risk of suicide, and treatment of preventions of reattempts, because there are people who might have attempted and didn't succeed who go back and try again. We all know somebody who might be not happy, depressed, dealing with PTSD or PSTD, or I'm just telling you, if you know someone, reach out. And I'm just saying this not on just that level of that being that high. I'll take it down to just a basic community level. Kiah has always reached out to me 1 or 2 days a month, always asking me, how you doing, how you feeling, what's going on with you. And it is a beautiful feeling. You don't know the feeling until you've given it and until you've received it. I'm just telling you. And we've lost that as a community. We've lost that as, a society, that we no longer, am I my brother's keeper? We think people are too complicated to have to deal with that. But no, you don't know whose life you can actually save by just picking up the phone or sending a nice little text. We don't reach out anymore. We need to strengthen the supports of people on just simple, basic levels of communication. And I know I had this conversation because my sons, y'all know, they're 31, 27. They are the text community of the world. They're going to text everything. And that's fine. But sometimes someone needs to hear your voice. I had the conversation with them. That's okay to touch bases with me sometimes and see how I'm doing. That's a beautiful venue to do that. But on them days that I'm really, really feeling bad, I need a voice. I need to hear that voice. I need to hear how you care about me. I need to know that your energy, your effort, you don't understand the positive inflection that you give to someone with a simple phone call. You don't have to talk for long. I trust and believe me, and Kiah knows I cut people off quick. I don't have that much time, but I want to relate to you. I want to check and reach out to you. I just don't have enough time that maybe have the full-blown conversation, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I genuinely want to know, how you doing today? Are you okay? All right, minimize it, people. And for those of y'all who are suffering and whatever, just trust me, I've been there and I've done that. When they ask you how's your day, you don't have to tell them everything about your day. Just give them a little tidbit. Let them know. Strengthen some relationships that you have with people. It doesn't have to be bestie. It doesn't have to be on business only. But let people know that you care. Because if you want it back, it is the most beautiful thing to give it if you really want to have it back. So teach those coping and problem solving skills by just reaching out, letting people know that you really care, identify with them, because this is a very serious thing. It has an emotional, physical, and economic impact to the world. Now, we don't have anything to do about the economical impact, but we definitely have something to do as far as the cause of the serious emotional impact. And the physical impact. Sometimes I know with this pandemic, we're not that comfortable with hugging people. But learn how to dap them up or punch them, as my son says, punch me up. Punch them up. We're getting to become a society in which touch doesn't mean much. And that's going to have its own detriment beyond suicide and mental health issues. We were brought here to this earth to touch, to hug, hold hands, do things. That's our connectivity. And I can't imagine what would actually happen to us if we're not doing that. So there's ways of, being preventive. You don't have to shake someone's hand fully and touch, but, give them a punch up, give them a little elbow up. I got a couple girls, all we do is elbow. Boom, bam. Got you, girl. How you doing? Bam. There you go. In and out. But it's still connecting. So Kiah, with all the preventions that we have with suicide, and everyone does have a role to play in this, with the initiatives that you have with the service dogs, the service pins, and now you're also doing the T-shirts and sweatshirts, where do you see this going for you? Tell us what your future thoughts and outcomes and where you're trying to take it. Where's it going?
I think the main thing is getting back to us communicating with each other. Mm-hmm. The other stuff is more symbolism, which is, the shirts and the other things that we do. But the one thing that I'm excited about, and I'm going to always come back to this, is us reaching out and checking in on people. That's really the main goal, is to do this to the point where it becomes a habit. So instead of you just thinking about the 22nd to reach out to people, you just do it on a daily basis, in between breaks and between free time. So really the main goal is to make this concept something that's normal, checking in on people. Everything else that I'm introducing is more symbol of what the main objective is: the T-shirts, the lapel pins, the service dogs, the 22nd of each month. All those are just symbols of what the main goal is. And the main goal is just to kind of reach out, touch someone, show some love to people. So that's really the main thing, is to just kind of have this as a snowball effect. People use the term, hey, I'm just checking in, but I want that to almost be something that's just a normal routine. You look on different social media platforms, some people have put a motivational message on their page. That's a great routine to do that on a regular basis. But again, the overall objective is to have this as a mainframe where people are constantly checking in, seeing how everybody else is doing. Again, the T-shirt concept, the hoodies, the lapel pins, designating the 22nd as the check-in date. Again, all those are just kind of symbols for people to be part of. But what I want people to really do is check in on different people, from family members to business acquaintances, business associates. Just imagine you have a business and you just check in on a client or check in on somebody, and you're not trying to sell them anything. You just call to say, hey, look, just call to see how you're doing. Imagine you being a salesperson and you're checking on a particular customer or client, and when they pick up the phone, they hear your voice, and they think you're trying to sell them something or talk about a new promo to get some commission out of them, and all you're doing is checking to see how they're doing, and that's the end of the conversation, and you just keep it moving. So it's a lot of great gestures that can come from this, and I'm hoping that this is the beginning, and I want the repetition. That's why I'm saying on the 22nd of each month. There's a lot of challenges, so to speak, out there, but they end. I don't know anybody that's still doing the 22 push-ups. So I don't know anybody that's still having people dump water on them. Not taking anything away, because the whole idea was to bring attention, But once that campaign was over, it was over. I want this to be something that's continuing. That's why we're dedicating the 22nd. And like I said, it's a identifiable number because in the veteran world, that's approximately how many veterans commit suicide each day. So because we are a veteran-based company, we definitely want to stay with our roots and reach out to our veterans, but we also want to expand this to reach out to everybody else because, again, approximately 130 people commit suicide in this country, and 14% of that are veterans. So, let's check on everybody, whether they're veterans or non-veterans. People are going through some things, and when the pandemic hit, it just kind of escalated because of the isolation that we were going through, and then dealing with, the uncertainty. There was really no true explanation of what the pandemic was all about. It just happened all of a sudden. We went from having a normal life to everything was shut down within 24 hours, and it was just something that we weren't used to. So again, going back to what you said, the whole goal is to make this campaign something that's going from repetition to everyday normal routine. So that's really where we're going with this, and hopefully with a lot of people out there forming their own groups and teams to be part of this. We look forward to seeing how this looks in the next 4 to 5 months.
Yes. Statistically, through AFSP.org, suicide statistics, thank you for the information. I greatly appreciate you replying to me. The rate of suicides is highest in middle-aged white men. But in 2019, men died of suicides 3.63 times as often as women. That's pretty high. It is. It is. And being a male and being African American in today's society, why is it that you think or believe that the new statistics of the raised amounts and percentage of African American males is starting to really increase in the past 2 years with this pandemic?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is the stigma. We don't like to discuss mental health in our community, and for us, it's now become the silent killer because we're silent with it. And hopefully with this campaign, and hopefully if we get back to our roots, we had a saying, it takes a village. Yeah. What we may need to do is take the It Takes a Village campaign and, look out for our community. And let's get away from the stigma that if somebody's going through some issues that they can walk it off or sleep it off or just keep it to themselves. Because right now, statistically, that's not working. And we need to kind of get back to that community-oriented where we're reaching out. Number one is to reach out. And then number two, when somebody is reaching out, let them know how you're feeling. And a lot of that has to do with how our community is based on that stigma that it's showing a sign of weakness. And we don't want to show that sign. But I don't think there's a sign of weakness when you're asking for help.
Yeah, there is.
What's the other? Yeah, so the other alternative is, unfortunately, 6 feet under. So I'd rather hear about your problems than read about them in an obituary. So we need to kind of be more community oriented and reach out and be honest of how we're feeling. And I think that's one of the reasons why I like the idea of checking in on people, because that puts you in the position of asking, and you're letting them know that, hey, if you want to talk or if you want to respond, I'm here for you because you initiated the conversation, so to speak. So that now puts you in the position of, hey, I'm checking in on you. What's going on with you? So that makes them feel as though, okay, if I respond, I should get an answer. So that kind of puts you in that position of, hey, I'm really concerned. I want to know what's going on with you. So it puts the person as part of this challenge you have a responsibility of being sincere when you're sending out that check-in. It's not just a fad or just a phase that you want to be part of something. No, there's a responsibility of actually reaching out to someone.
There is. Yeah.
And if there's a response, you need to be there. And that's really what makes this challenge that I like more accountable. It holds you accountable to when you're reaching out to someone.
Yeah, I agree. There are several reasons that lead to people to end their lives following a suicide. Mental stress, frustration are pretty much some dominating factors that actually are a force to be reckoned with pushing people to that situation. But on the other side of that, it's not all emotional. And just in statistics of 2019, firearms accounted for 50.39% of all suicide deaths. And I personally, and this is just our personal opinions, people, don't get all twisted and in a bunch. I believe in firearms. I believe in being able to protect yourself. I believe in having your right to protect your home and your family. But when it leads to having suicide, I will honestly tell you, Kiah, I really didn't connect the two until I was doing the research on this project. I really didn't see how the firearm situation was really adding to the stigma, the issues, the problems for suicidal deaths, because 50% of them commit suicide. That's their choice of weapon is a gun. What do you think about that?
Well, we are a gun-happy society, so the average person is going to have a firearm, and they're going to go with what they feel most comfortable with. So it's almost like a blessing and a curse. You have the weapon to protect your home, but when you're going through stress, depression, isolation, that's going to be your weapon of choice, because that's what you have access to. And most people, when they commit suicide, it's going to be based on accessibility. What do they have access to? And unfortunately, a lot of people have guns. And like I said, it's a blessing and a curse. The blessing is you're protecting yourself, but also the curse is when you're going through some tough times, that weapon of choice is going to be what you have, and that's going to be the gun. So it's almost like a double-edged sword, so to speak.
Yeah, it was really sad, because I really honestly didn't put it together until I saw the statistics, and I was like, oh my God. So those of you who have firearms at home, please make sure that they are on safety and put up in special places to minimize this situation. And in closing, we do want to thank you for listening and joining us on the couch tonight. Please be safe and continue to do one thing better than you did yesterday. Now, remember to love yourself first. And, of course, we love you, too. And see you next week on the couch at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And until we talk again, make sure to be the best kings and queens that you can be. Make sure you reach out. It doesn't have to be on the 22nd. If you plan it, 1 or 2 person a day until the end of the month, and make sure that you're reaching out to somebody. Because, look, we have self-love. Fill your cup first. I am an advocate of that. When your cup is full, and even if it's just a little not quite full, you have enough to reach out to someone else and help them feel better about themselves as well. So feel free to listen to past shows at LUVRadioNetwork24.com. Don't forget to download our app so that you are front and center every week for shows and great music 24 hours a day. So peace out and many blessings to you and yours. And Kiah Harvin, thank you very much for being our guest today. Everybody that's on the show listening, I thank you for being an advocate Couch Chronicle fan. And for the rest of you, good night, my love. Peace out.